Welcome to Sleep Story, your nightly escape into a world of dreams and tranquility. Before we embark on our journey tonight, take a moment to unwind and relax. Find your most comfortable position, nestled in your bed, letting go of the day's tensions. As you settle in, allow yourself to be cradled by the softness around you. As you lie comfortably, let's start with a relaxing sleep induction. Inhale deeply, counting to 4. Hold your breath, counting to 7. And then exhale slowly, counting to 8. Repeat this breathing exercise. Inhale, hold, exhale. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, hold, exhale. With each breath, feel yourself sinking deeper into relaxation. Let's count down from 10 to 1. With each descending number, feel your body and mind slip further into a state of complete relaxation. 10. Your toes are becoming light and tension-free, as if a gentle wave of relaxation is washing over them. 9. Your ankles loosen and unwind, letting go of the day's journey, bringing you comfort and peace. 8. Your legs feel the warmth and ease, resting as if on a cloud, light and unburdened. 7. Your waist and back release all stress, surrounded by a comforting warmth. 6. Chest and shoulders melt away all tension, breathing in relaxation and ease. 5. Arms and fingers relax, sinking into the soothing softness of your bed. 4. Neck and head muscles ease, every tension dissolving into calmness. 3. Breathing steadies, deepening. Each inhale brings peace. Each exhale releases stress. 2. Your heartbeat is calm and steady, reassuring you with every beat. 1. Now deeply relaxed, ready for a restful sleep. As our countdown concludes, you are now in a state of deep relaxation, poised at the threshold of sleep. Our story is about to begin, crafted to guide you into a peaceful slumber. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let the narrative lead you into a serene and restful night. Let's begin our journey into the land of dreams. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm, golden glow over the sprawling fields, Emily, a young and determined farm owner, began her nightly stroll across her family's farm. The day's labor had drawn to a close, the fields now resting under a blanket of twilight. This was her time, a sacred interval for reflection and envisioning the farm's future, a legacy she carried with the weight of history and the lightness of hope. Emily's footsteps crunched softly on the dry, parched earth, a testament to the day's heat. Each step was a familiar rhythm, a part of the farm's larger melody. The evening was a tranquil affair. The gentle rustling of leaves in the light breeze and the distant lowing of cattle were the only sounds that dared break the encompassing silence. Above, the sky was a canvas of changing hues, transitioning from a fiery orange to a soothing purple, a daily masterpiece of nature signaling the onset of night. But what truly captivated Emily during these evening walks was the symphony of sounds that emerged as dusk settled. It started subtly, a few tentative chirps from the crickets, a solitary buzz from a lingering bee, but soon grew into a full orchestra. The nocturnal insects filled the air with their natural melody, a sound that resonated with the rhythm of the farm and the heartbeat of the earth itself. It was during these moments that Emily felt most connected to the land, a connection that went far beyond the physical labor of farming. This was spiritual, a bond forged by generations of her family who had tended this land before her. Each insect's chirp seemed to tell a story, a legacy of the earth, whispering its secrets to those patient enough to listen. Around her, the farm was a living entity, its breath the wind that swept across the fields, its pulse the rhythmic croaking of frogs from the nearby pond. The fragrance of the earth rose up to meet her, a mix of fresh hay, fertile soil, and a hint of wildflowers from the meadow beyond. It was a scent that spoke of growth, of life, and of endless cycles that governed the land. As she walked, her mind wandered through the day's events and the tasks that lay ahead. There were fields to be tended, crops to be harvested, and animals to be cared for. Yet, in these quiet moments, her thoughts delved deeper, exploring ideas and possibilities that daylight hours did not permit. Emily pondered over new methods of sustainable farming, ways to harmonize more closely with nature, and strategies to ensure the farm's resilience in the face of changing climates. But above all, these walks were a time for Emily to feel the presence of her ancestors. She imagined their hands tilling the same soil, their eyes watching the same sunsets, and their hearts beating with the same love for this land. In these twilight hours, the boundaries between past, present, and future seemed to blur, and Emily felt a timeless continuity, a reassurance that as long as the sun set over these fields, the legacy of her family's farm would endure. Emily's walk led her to the far edge of the farm, a boundary where where the neatly tilled fields gave way to the untamed wilds of the forest. Here, the air felt fresher, imbued with the scent of pine and the earthy musk of the undergrowth. The transition was gradual, yet starkly noticeable. The cultivated land's orderliness contrasted with nature's chaotic beauty. As she ventured closer to the forest, the chorus of nocturnal creatures grew louder, more vibrant. Fireflies began to emerge, dotting the twilight with their ephemeral glow. Emily paused, watching the dance of these tiny beacons of light. It was a magical sight, one that never failed to stir a sense of wonder within her. Moving closer to the tree line, Emily's eyes caught something unusual. A narrow, almost hidden path winding into the forest. Curiosity piqued, she decided to follow it. This was not part of her usual route, but tonight, something urged her to explore further. The path was overgrown, suggesting it was seldom traveled. Twigs snapped under her feet, and she had to push aside low-hanging branches as she moved deeper into the forest. The canopy above filtered the moonlight, casting a dappled pattern on the ground. The further she went, the more she felt as though she was stepping into another world, a secret place untouched by time. Suddenly, the path opened into a small clearing. What Emily saw took her breath away. It was a wildflower meadow, a hidden gem nestled in the forest. The moonlight illuminated the flowers, creating a tapestry of colors, purples, yellows, and whites that glowed softly in the night. The air was thick with the fragrance of blooming flowers, a natural perfume that was both intoxicating and calming. But what truly captivated Emily was the sight of numerous glowing insects, unlike any she had seen before. They flitted among the flowers, creating a living light show that was utterly enchanting. Emily realized these were not ordinary fireflies. Their glow was brighter, and their colors varied, some a vivid blue, others a gentle green. As she stood there, mesmerized by the spectacle, Emily heard a soft, raspy voice behind her. Startled, she turned to find an old man standing at the edge of the clearing. His appearance was as wild as the forest itself, with unkempt hair and clothes that seemed to blend into the surroundings. "Beautiful, isn't it?" he said, his voice a whisper that melded with the night. "Not many know of this place. It's been a secret of the woods for generations." Emily, recovering from her initial shock, realized that this must be Mr. Hawthorne, a reclusive neighbor who lived deep in the woods. She had heard stories about him, tales that painted him as a mysterious figure, more part of the forest than the human world. "Yes, it's incredible," Emily replied, still in awe of the scene before her. "I never knew this existed so close to my farm." Mr. Hawthorne nodded, a knowing look in his eyes. "This meadow, these creatures, they've been here long before your farm, long before any of us. They hold secrets, stories of the land that few have heard. As they spoke, Emily felt an unspoken connection to this strange man, a shared reverence for the land's deep and ancient magic. Mr. Hawthorne's eyes sparkled with a lifetime of knowledge as he began to weave tales of the meadow and its inhabitants. His voice, though aged, carried the vibrant energy of the stories he told, each word painting vivid images in Emily's mind. He spoke of the meadow's origins, how it had been a sacred place for the indigenous people who once roamed these lands. They believed it was a bridge between the physical world and the spiritual realm, a place where one could communicate with nature's spirits. The meadow, he explained, was alive with a powerful energy, an energy that nourished not only the plants and animals, but also the soul of the land itself. Mr. Hawthorne's stories then shifted to the creatures of the meadow, particularly the luminous insects that Emily had been so captivated by. He told her that these were no ordinary insects. They were the guardians of the meadow, protectors of its magic and beauty. Each one, he said, carried a fragment of the meadow's history within its light, a history that spanned centuries. Their glow, Mr. Hawthorne whispered, is a reflection of the meadow's heart, a beacon for those who seek to understand the deeper truths of nature. He described how, over the years, he had learned to communicate with these creatures, to understand their patterns and behaviors. They were, he revealed, sensitive to the changes in the environment, their lights dimming with the land's distress and glowing brightly when it thrived. As Emily listened, she realized that this meadow and its creatures were a mirror to her own farm's health and balance. The harmony of this hidden place contrasted sharply with the challenges she faced on her farm, where the struggle to maintain productivity often clashed with the need to preserve the natural harmony. Mr. Hawthorne noticed the change in Emily's expression, the dawning realization of the interconnectedness of all things. He nodded slowly, a small smile playing on his lips. The land speaks to us in many ways, he said gently. Sometimes in a rustle of leaves, sometimes in the dance of fireflies. We just need to learn to listen. Their conversation deepened as Mr. Hawthorne shared his wisdom about living in harmony with nature. He talked about the cycles of the earth, the importance of respecting its rhythms, and how modern farming methods could disrupt these delicate balances. He spoke of ancient practices that worked with nature, not against it, and how such knowledge could be integrated into modern farming. As the night deepened, so did Emily's understanding. She realized that her approach to farming could be enhanced by these age-old wisdoms. The key to a sustainable future for her farm might lie in this very meadow, in learning from its undisturbed balance and the ancient wisdom that Mr. Hawthorne had shared. This encounter, she knew, was a turning point, not just for her farm, but for her own journey as a steward of the land. She felt a renewed sense of purpose, a determination to integrate these lessons into her life and work, to create a farm that not only produced food, but also preserved the magic and beauty of nature. The night air was cool and refreshing as Emily made her way back to the farmhouse, her mind abuzz with the revelations from her encounter with Mr. Hawthorne. The meadow's hidden wonders and the old man's wisdom had ignited a spark within her, fueling a burgeoning desire to see her farm thrive in harmony with nature. Arriving home, Emily couldn't shake the vivid images of the glowing meadow and the mesmerizing dance of its guardian insects. She lay awake in her bed, staring at the ceiling, contemplating the changes she could implement on her farm. The idea of integrating ancient practices with modern techniques was both daunting and exhilarating. The following morning, Emily rose with the sun, her determination renewed. The farm, bathed in the soft light of dawn, seemed to be waiting expectantly for her newfound approach. She began by visiting each part of her land, viewing it through a different lens, one that saw beyond mere cultivation and productivity. Her first step was to research and implement crop rotation and companion planting, techniques long forgotten in her family's farming practices. She delved into books and online resources, learning about the benefits of these methods in enhancing soil health and reducing the need for chemical fertilizers. As the days passed, Emily's efforts began to show. The fields looked healthier, and the crops seemed more robust. She introduced natural pest control methods, creating habitats for beneficial insects and birds. The farm slowly transformed, becoming a vibrant ecosystem that supported a variety of life forms. Emily also began to experiment with water conservation techniques, such as rainwater harvesting and drip irrigation. She understood that water was a precious resource, and every effort to use it wisely contributed to the health of the land. Perhaps the most significant change was in her mindset. Emily started to view her farm not just as a business, but as a part of a larger community of life. She began to appreciate the cycles of nature, understanding that each element, from the smallest insect to the largest tree, played a crucial role in the farm's ecosystem. The local community started to notice the changes too. Neighbors and fellow farmers, initially skeptical, began to show interest in Emily's new methods. She welcomed them, sharing her learnings and experiences. Soon, her farm became a model of sustainable agriculture in the region, inspiring others to consider more environmentally friendly practices. As the seasons changed, Emily watched her farm flourish. The harmony she had observed in the secret meadow was now reflected in her own land. The farm was alive, buzzing with the sounds of a healthy ecosystem, a testament to the wisdom of the old ways merged with the new. As the first rays of the morning sun broke over the horizon, casting a soft golden light across the fields, Emily stood at the edge of her farm, a sense of accomplishment swelling in her heart. The changes she had implemented over the past months had not only transformed the land, but it also rekindled a deeper connection between her and the earth beneath her feet. The farm was no longer just a patchwork of fields and crops. It had become a living, breathing ecosystem, pulsating with life. The once monotonous rows of crops were now interspersed with wildflowers, attracting a myriad of pollinators. The air was filled with the hum of bees and the flutter of butterflies, a vibrant testament to the farm's newfound health. Emily's efforts to incorporate natural pest control had paid off. Birds chirped merrily from their perches in the newly planted hedgerows, feasting on insects and keeping their populations in check. The soil, once tired and overworked, was now rich and fertile, rejuvenated by the organic farming practices she had adopted. One of Emily's most significant accomplishments was the creation of a small wetland area at the farm's periphery. It had become a sanctuary for wildlife, a small haven where frogs croaked melodiously and dragonflies skimmed over the water's surface. This wetland not only supported biodiversity, but also played a crucial role in water management, naturally filtering runoff and recharging the groundwater. As the community's interest grew, Emily began to host workshops and farm tours, sharing her journey towards sustainable farming. People from far and wide came to learn about her methods, drawn by the farm's success and the promise of harmonious coexistence with nature. Emily found joy in teaching others, her passion for sustainable agriculture becoming a beacon for change in the wider farming community. Her endeavors also attracted the attention of local schools, leading to partnerships that enabled students to visit and learn about ecology and sustainable farming practices. Emily believed that educating the younger generation was key to a sustainable future, and she dedicated herself to this cause with fervor. However, the journey was not without its challenges. Adapting to new methods required patience and perseverance. There were failures and setbacks, but Emily saw each as an opportunity to learn and grow. Her resilience and dedication became an inspiration to those around her, a testament to the power of determination and vision. As she walked back towards her farmhouse, Emily paused to admire the beauty of her surroundings. The farm had become a reflection of her journey, a blend of tradition and innovation, a place where the past and the future coexisted in harmony. She felt a profound sense of peace, knowing that she was contributing to a healthier planet. The sun climbed higher, casting its warm glow over the land. It was a new dawn for Emily's farm, a symbol of hope and a testament to the power of embracing change for a more sustainable and harmonious world. The season of harvest had arrived, painting Emily's farm with a palette of rich golds, deep reds, and vibrant oranges. It was a time of fruition and celebration, a testament to the months of hard work and dedication. The farm, now a flourishing example of sustainable agriculture, was bustling with activity as the community gathered to partake in the annual Harvest Festival. Emily watched with pride as families, friends, and neighbors wandered through the fields, marveling at the abundance of produce and the diversity of wildlife that now called her farm home. Children laughed as they chased butterflies among the flowers, while their parents picked apples from the orchard, the branches heavy with ripe fruit. The festival was more than just a celebration of the harvest. It was a showcase of the farm's transformation. Stalls were set up, displaying not only the farm's produce, but also educational materials about sustainable farming practices. Emily and her team organized workshops and demonstrations, teaching visitors about crop rotation, composting, natural pest control, and the importance of biodiversity. The highlight of the festival was the community feast, a tradition that Emily had started to strengthen the bond between the farm and the community. Long tables were laden with dishes prepared from the farm's own produce, a delicious spread that was the culmination of the season's hard work. People gathered around the tables, sharing stories and laughter, united by the food that was grown with care and respect for the land. As the day turned into evening, the air was filled with music. A local band played, their melodies echoing the joy and vibrancy of the farm. The fireflies began their nightly dance, their soft glow adding to the magic of the occasion. It was a moment of pure contentment, a celebration of nature's bounty and the community's unity. Later that evening, as the guests departed and calm returned to the farm, Emily took a solitary walk through the fields. The moon cast a gentle light over the land, and the cool night air was fragrant with the scent of harvest. She reflected on the journey that had brought her to this moment, from her initial struggles to the transformative encounter with Mr. Hawthorne and the secret meadow. Her thoughts turned to the future, to the possibilities that lay ahead. She envisioned her farm continuing to grow, not just in size, but in its role as a beacon of sustainable and harmonious living. She dreamed of expanding her educational programs, perhaps even collaborating with environmental organizations to further her impact. As she stood there, Amidst the whispering crops and under the vast, starry sky, Emily felt a deep sense of connection to the land and to the cycle of life it represented. Her farm was more than just a piece of land. It was a living testament to the harmony that could be achieved when humans worked with nature rather than against it. With a heart full of gratitude and hope, Emily made her way back to the farmhouse. The Harvest Festival was a reminder of the beauty and abundance that could be found in living in harmony with the earth. She fell asleep that night with a smile, dreaming of the future and all the possibilities it held.